Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about something that I believe is both powerful and deeply relevant to each of our lives: privacy. In a world where we're encouraged to share every moment, every success, and every challenge, we often forget that some things gain their true strength when kept close. Today, I'll share why there are certain things we should consider keeping private, at least until they're strong enough to stand on their own. Now, you may wonder what could be so important that we should guard it with such care. I want to share with you 3 things that, if kept private until they're permanent, have the potential to truly protect your happiness and growth, your goals and ambitions, your relationships, and your personal struggles. Let's dive into each of these because they hold lessons that can change how you navigate your own life. First, let's talk about your goals and ambitions. It's natural to feel excited about the future you're planning, and it's tempting to share it with others. After all, when we reveal our dreams, we often hope to receive encouragement, validation, or even admiration. But sharing our goals too early can have unintended consequences. You see, when you share your ambitions before they're fully formed or set into motion, you open them up to influence from others. You might find people questioning your plans, doubting your abilities, or even discouraging you, sometimes intentionally, sometimes without realizing it. Imagine a seedling that you've just planted. If you're constantly exposing it to harsh weather, it won't have the strength to take root and grow. Similarly, your dreams need protection until they've taken root in your own mind, heart, and actions. By keeping your ambitions private, you give yourself the space to build a plan, nurture your ideas, and develop the resilience required to face inevitable challenges. This doesn't mean you should never seek advice or support. Just make sure the timing is right. Share it when you're ready, not when you're still vulnerable to others' doubts. Protecting your goals also prevents you from relying on external validation. When we share our ambitions too early, there's a risk of confusing excitement from others with real progress. We can become so invested in the praise that we forget to put in the work required to bring our dreams to life. By holding onto your goals privately, you build internal motivation rather than relying on others to push you forward. And trust me, that internal drive is what will sustain you through the most difficult phases of your journey. Now, let's move to the second area: relationships. When we fall in love or when we're beginning a new friendship or connection, we're often eager to tell the world. But here's the thing: new relationships, whether they're romantic, platonic, or professional, are fragile. They're like a young plant in a pot that can easily be damaged by too much exposure. When you bring in external opinions, be it friends, family, or even followers on social media, you create a space for judgment, pressure, and assumptions that may not align with the genuine connection you're building. In the early stages, relationships thrive in a private, intimate space where the 2 people involved have the freedom to truly get to know each other without distractions. When relationships are exposed to public scrutiny too early, they're often influenced by societal expectations rather than the organic connection between 2 people. Keeping things private gives you the time to understand each other, build trust, and grow without outside interference. When a relationship is truly strong, it won't need anyone else's approval to flourish. Only then, when you're confident and certain, is it wise to open up and share. Privacy in relationships also helps protect you from impulsive reactions to others' opinions. Have you ever shared a new relationship with someone only to have them cast doubt or bring up their own negative experiences? Even well-meaning friends may project their own fears onto you, sometimes causing you to question a relationship that was perfectly fine. Keeping your relationship private gives you the chance to form your own impressions and make decisions based on your feelings and experiences, not on the past hurts or worries of others. When the time is right, you can celebrate your love openly with the security of knowing that it's built on a foundation you've nurtured with care. The third and final area that deserves privacy is your personal struggles. Life isn't easy. We all face challenges and hardships that can test our strength and resilience. When we go through difficult times, there's often an urge to seek sympathy or validation by sharing our struggles with others. While seeking support can be essential, it's worth pausing to consider the timing and the audience. Sharing your struggles publicly, especially when you're still in the midst of them, can sometimes do more harm than good. You see, struggles are deeply personal journeys. When we expose them to the outside world too soon, we risk receiving feedback or advice that isn't always helpful. Worse, we might encounter people who judge us or offer sympathy that feels shallow, making us feel even more alone. Keeping your challenges private allows you to process them fully on your own terms. This isn't about hiding your pain, but about giving yourself the time and space to understand it, work through it, and find strength within yourself first. Struggles, in many ways, are transformative experiences. They teach us resilience, courage, and self-compassion. By going through them privately, we learn to rely on our inner strength rather than seeking validation from others. We build resilience that isn't dependent on someone else's opinion. Once we've overcome a challenge, once we've processed the pain and learned the lessons, we can choose to share it if we want to, in a way that empowers us and perhaps even helps others. But by that point, the struggle no longer has power over us. It has become a chapter of our story, not the whole story itself. So, When it comes to your personal struggles, remember that there's strength in holding on to them until you're ready. And when you do choose to open up, you'll be speaking from a place of healing rather than vulnerability. In a world that encourages us to share every part of our lives, choosing privacy in these three areas, your goals and ambitions, your relationships, and your struggles, may feel like swimming against the current. But this choice is a powerful act of self-respect. It's a way of saying I am enough and I don't need anyone else's approval to grow, to love, or to overcome. So let's hold on to the value of privacy. When you keep these aspects of your life close until they're permanent, you give yourself the freedom to grow in your own way, to build relationships that are genuine, and to overcome challenges with a resilience that's truly yours. Privacy, in this sense, is not about secrecy. It's about nurturing the most important parts of yourself until they're ready to shine. Thank you for listening, and I hope you find the courage to hold on to what matters until it's ready to be shared. Remember, you are the author of your own life, and you have the power to decide which chapters are public and which deserve to stay private until they're complete. So protect your dreams, nurture your relationships, and hold your struggles close, and let your journey unfold at its own pace.